Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about cheating. Now, if you've been on my channel for a while, none of these opinions are going to be surprising to you. And even if you haven't been here that long, nothing I'm going to say I think is going to knock you off your seat. I was on TikTok. I don't go there that often anymore just because I feel like TikTok has just permeated all of my social media in the sense of TikToks are re-uploaded onto Instagram, they're re-uploaded onto Twitter. So I don't even need to go to TikTok to see the TikToks. Does that make sense? A trend that has been going on for a long time on TikTok revolves around cheating, and I think that goes for a lot of social media platforms because there is a lot of debate on cheating, which in and of itself is a crazy sentence to say out loud because you'd think that there'd be kind of a consensus on cheating, and I think there is in the outside world, but on the internet I feel like there's a consistent debate about the morals and ethics of it all, which is funny because realistically, unless you have your own specific parameters, most monogamous relationships are strictly monogamous, and so cheating is very black and white. But online I often see discourse that turns it into a thing that's more complicated, and like I said, you might have an open relationship that has very particular parameters and all that, and that's a different story, though there still is the concept of cheating, because if you have your parameters on an open relationship, if someone goes against those parameters or outside those parameters, it still is cheating. So really, I do think there is a general consensus, but sometimes I see shit online and I start to wonder, am I losing my entire shit? I accumulated a couple of TikToks that discuss this because they were just right there. I didn't really even have to look for them. So first of all, there was this one, which I think is particularly delusional.
Men who cheat and men who don't cheat, they report the same satisfaction in the marriage. When women cheat, 80% of the time they reported lower satisfaction in the marriage. And when men cheat, it is not to end the relationship. When women cheat, it is to end the relationship.
It's a monkey branch to the next man.
It's hard for women to understand. I can love my wife and kids and have to someone else, and it doesn't mean anything about my wife.
Girl, ma'am, madam, I see things like this and I probably shouldn't be surprised because it's always a dude bro podcast. It's always a dude bro podcast where I see these completely delusional takes where it's like, okay, if my wife cheats, she's doing it to end the relationship. She's doing it because she's in love with this other man. She's doing it for all these like big reasons, right? Whereas what he's claiming is that when men do it, it doesn't mean anything about their wives. So when you're stepping out on a committed relationship that you committed to, saying this is the one person, when you step out on that, it's not saying anything about that one person. Be for real. Be for real. Come on. Just, you know, like if you're gonna cheat, I'm not gonna say go ahead and do that. That's fine. If you're in a monogamous relationship, end the relationship at that point. But honestly, if you are going to, the least you can do is not come up with these pseudo-intellectual arguments that really don't say anything apart from the fact that either you're deeply delusional if you actually believe this, or you think people are mind-numbingly stupid, which to be fair, they are, but the majority of people will still grasp onto the fact that this is not logical reasoning. Because what is telling you that the woman then doesn't also love you and it's no reflection on you that she's cheating? Why are the rules different for her then? Why can't she just do the same thing? If it's so fine and it doesn't mean anything about you, what's the big deal if she does it? Like, when I see these kinds of arguments, these kinds of discussions, it truly baffles me how people can genuinely believe that there are such different rules for the genders. And granted, there are plenty of things that are different between men and women, duh. But there are some things where I'm like, why does it have to be different? Like, if a relationship is a relationship, whether it's two men, two women, a man and a woman, whatever other genders you want to put in for X and Y, if X and Y say that it's just X and Y and no one outside of X and Y can be involved, the moment you step out, you step out. So whether you're a guy or a woman or whatever, it doesn't change anything, truly. And it's kind of crazy to think that guys should get a quote unquote pass because for them it doesn't mean anything. So what, you're just supposed to be able to do that and it's fine? Like, what is the bottom line we're trying to get to here? Granted, I think I can be delusional like anyone else, but this thread of delusion I'm not following. Can someone enlighten me? So this clip I've seen plenty of times, but I thought it was interesting just because the back and forth is tense here. I feel tense every time I watch this video. I'm not even in a relationship and I'm like, holy shit, this would make me want to vomit if it were a conversation I were having.
Go for what? No, let's talk about it. Put it out on the table.
You're not gonna leave me if I cheat on you.
You're stupid.
You're not leaving.
Stupid.
You're not leaving
You're
me if I cheat on
stupid.
you. You're not.
You're stupid.
not leaving
You're
me.
crazy.
I've been with you so long.
Okay, try it. Try it. We'll see.
You're not leaving me if I cheat on you.
You're crazy. You want to cheat on me?
You're not leaving
Do
me.
you want to cheat on me?
I don't want to cheat on you, but you're not leaving me if I cheat on you.
You're crazy. And the thing about it is
I
that
don't spend too much money for
I
you.
don't give a that's your problem. Cause guess what? I'm not even going. Let me tell you something. You cheat, I'm not even finna be on no rah rah da 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 da. I'm gonna be so player. I'm gonna be so player about this. I swear, like I'm not even gonna be like, I'm not doing none of that crazy shit. I'm going to literally leave in the middle of the night like a thief in the night. I'm telling you, you're gonna come home one day and think everything is goddamn good, and my is gonna be gone.
I don't believe that.
You're never gonna be able to locate.
I don't believe that.
Okay.
I'm the one.
You the one that's about to get left. You got a side? You got a side?
At the end of the day, you talk about the wrong thing.
No, answer the question. You
No,
got a
it's
side
like,
bitch?
no, I don't have a side. I'm talking about other people.
Oh, okay, because you talking like you talking from experience. Something like I thought I was gonna have to. Woo, you know what I'm saying?
No, I don't know.
I feel stressed out watching that because towards the end, truly, I think we all came to the same conclusion that this man has already cheated. Whether he has a long-term affair, I have no idea, but this man has already cheated. That face, when she asked if he had a side bitch, pack your bags, get out, time to go. But it's crazy to me when I see this type of behavior because it's almost funny in the sense of people have this kind of audacity to cheat and just feel okay with doing that until they're confronted, not even with someone being like, I know you cheated, I know you did this, but even just the hypothetical, even just someone being like, hey, are you cheating? Like, do you have someone on the side? They shut the fuck down. And I think that's almost comical, not in the sense of actually funny, obviously, because anytime someone cheats, there's someone who's traumatized, hurt, devastated, so on and so forth. But it's almost funny because there's all this audacity to go against the, let's say, rules you've put on your relationship. So you have the audacity to do that. You do that continuously. And the moment someone just says to you, hey, are you doing this? They break the fuck down, which it's almost funny because it's like you're putting everything on the line. And then as soon as someone just asks you a question, you can't function anymore. You're done. In one way, I think it's a good thing that most of these people do not have a poker face because then the person who's being cheated on can get out and find someone better, someone who actually deserves them. It's ironic just because I feel like so many of these people think that they are on this fucking Ocean's 11 level of secrecy, spies, hiding shit. And it's like, no, you are transparent. Most of the time, you're transparent. And I do think that a lot of the times when people don't see that you're cheating, granted, you might be good at hiding it, granted, you might both be busy, you know, someone might not have time to analyze every single thing you do, but I do think a lot of the times people also auto-convince themselves, right? Because when you commit to someone, ideally, you shouldn't ever really have to ask yourself if someone's cheating, ideally. But it's also like, if you do ask yourself, you go directly into, oh no, they'd never do that to me. Oh no, we promised this to each other. You know, so there is that kind of auto defense of, oh no, we agreed on this and they're gonna keep their word. So when someone is actually not even fully confronted about it, but almost just kind of like nudged, like, hey, you're not doing that, right? And you just see them go, like this dude's face, just stay single. Like, what? Why is that so hard? Stay single, be friends with benefits, hook up with people, just don't commit to anyone if you can't do it. It is harder to unsubscribe from email newsletters than it is to just tell someone straight up, hey, this isn't working for me. It'll probably take less time to tell someone that than to unsubscribe from the annoying spam mail I get every week. I'm just saying. This take I thought was really interesting and I actually really appreciated it, so I wanted to include it.
Sometimes people comment on my live, you look like you'd be easy to cheat on. And to be honest, yeah, I am easy to cheat on. This might be a controversial take, but personally, I don't believe in stopping my partner from talking to other people or hanging out with certain people out of worry that they're going to cheat. Because personally, if my partner is weak enough that a girl flirting with them at a bar or one of their female friends making a move on them causes them to cheat on me, then I'm kind of relieved that I found out now, or that I found it sooner rather than later. I am not a prison ward. If I am not good enough for you, or you want someone else, like, go ahead and go for them. Because then I'll just go ahead and find someone that actually cherishes me and values me. Of course, there are certain exceptions to this. Like, there was this one girl when I was dating this one guy, she would like drunk call him all the time and randomly show up into his apartment unannounced. And I felt really bad doing this, but I like talked to him and I was basically like, I don't want to get in the way of your guys' friendship, but I think that since that you and I are like dating now, that you should set some boundaries with her. So I did express my discomfort. I didn't do that because I was worried he was going to cheat on me. It was just more like, even I don't go into your apartment unannounced. So I would appreciate it if this person didn't either. I won't ever stop my boyfriend from going clubbing or going out with his friends, or I won't ever stop him from being friends with certain girls because I'm worried that they're going to cheat. One of my exes did have a lot of female friends, and we went to different schools, and I didn't really mind when he went out to party or went out with his friends. The reason I never felt worried or I never really felt anxious was because he never gave me a reason to worry. He always showed me that he was very devoted to me and he was really down bad for me. I was technically cheated on before. It was like an exclusive situationship. After he told me about his infidelity, I felt relief more than anything. And I kind of felt bad for him because he just showed me through his actions that he has a very weak moral compass. And I already felt kind of iffy about him, so I was just relieved that I found out how much of a shitty person he was in the beginning rather than later. Because the bottom line is, even if someone is completely throwing themselves at you, the decision to cheat is 100% up to you. And if you do cheat, it just means that you weren't the right person for me to begin with. And I'll go ahead and find someone that actually cherishes me and actually values me. And honestly, I hope that they can find that person that's right for them in the future as well. Of course, if one of your female friends is throwing themselves at you and is begging you to cheat on me with them, then in that case, I think for the sake of setting boundaries, you should probably cut that person off. When one of my friends got cheated on, he kept on asking me, like, what's wrong with me? Why wasn't I ever good enough? And I hope for anyone that's ever been cheated on, you realize that you're never the problem. The other person is. Because if they're weak enough to not value you and cherish you, then that's their loss. And they're gonna have a really hard time finding someone that will put up with their weak morals. And they're just gonna live a very unsatisfied life.
I think the point she makes here is really interesting, and I think it's also really healthy and smart in the sense of, I think we all have known, if not have been, and I haven't experienced this firsthand, thank God, but we've all known a situation where there is a significant other, whether it's a man or a woman, doesn't matter, who is always controlling their significant other, but not controlling in the toxic way of like, you can't do this, you can't do that, but rather seems to always be on edge. So like, if their significant other has a friend who's a woman or a friend who's a man, they're already like, If they're texting people, you'll see them like look over to see who they're texting. Always seems like they're getting ready for something that's about to happen. And I think those situations are really sad, first of all, because if you can't be super comfortable with your partner, what even is the point of them being your partner? They're not even your partner, being real. We've all seen that situation, and what she's saying here I think is really interesting, because it would sound like an insult to say to someone, oh, it seems like you'd be really easy to cheat on. But it's like, you being cheated on is not a reflection of you. So if I were to date someone and they cheated on me, probably I would think I did something, even though it's entirely their fault, let's be clear. But it doesn't say anything about me. You know, like if it were easy to cheat on me, that means, yeah, I trust my partner enough to not go through their phone. I trust my partner enough to, you know, not overthink if they go out with their friends. And that's how it should be, right? So to say someone's easy to cheat on is already a very weird thing to say. Very weird way to twist your brain into thinking that's an insult. It would be like, you look like you're really easy to hurt. And it's like, okay, what about the person hurting them though? That's the person who's being shitty. You're not being shitty for being hurt. The person's being shitty for hurting you. So like, I don't get it. Anyway, but I do completely agree with her sentiment here, which is you shouldn't be running behind someone, right? Because like, even imagine in a relationship, you're dating, right? And throughout your entire dating life, you're always like looking behind your back. You're always on edge. You always feel like they're doing something. What even is the point of continuing that? And it must be a relief, honestly, to find out that they are cheating, so you can just leave that, not have doubts, not think they're the one, know that they're not, and just get out. And that's what I think is really healthy about her perspective, considering the fact that it will hurt, right? But it's still better for that to hurt and to rip off the band-aid than to just be sitting there kind of waiting for the shoe to drop. I just think this whole trend is interesting just because it's so pervasive. Like, even when I'm not looking for these videos, and I don't even heart videos on TikTok unless I'm gonna refer back to them. And usually that is extremely rare. So I don't even think I'm particularly feeding the algorithm much, but it comes up so much. And maybe that's because I like a lot of story times, and a lot of story times end up being about that. It's crazy how pervasive this conversation is, which also makes me wonder about situationships and friends with benefits, if that's all leading us to this weird kind of middle ground where people don't really establish what they're looking for, or people don't know how to establish the fact that they're not okay with something, you know, that they're not okay with monogamy, so they end up agreeing to being in a monogamous relationship, and then they end up stepping out on that because they don't know how to get out of that. Does that make sense? Anyway, you guys can let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to my patrons as always, and I'll catch you guys next time.